Here we go. Are you ready? Oh yeah. I am. Okay, actually there's one more thing that I need to do. Okay. Gather round the campfire, Bun Buns. It's time for Scary Story Hour here on Halloween, October 31st. Today, I'll be sharing with you several stories that were submitted by trusted buns. Those, you specifically. Several of you have sent me your stories. And some may be true, some may be false. That's up for Twitch chat to decide if they can figure out if it's a real story or a fake story. So let's begin with a story submitted by Roxy called Brier Lane. I'm gonna tell the story as it was written and sent in to me. I've made a couple of adjustments just for flow, but details are the same. When I was 8, my parents bought this big house, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. It even had an old servant's quarter. My mom loved to brag about how cheap it was. A total steal, she'd say to anyone who'd listen. But it didn't feel like a steal to me. It felt wrong. The air inside was always cold. Even in midsummer. The kind of cold that just clings to your skin. The hallways were long and hollow. The floors made these noises like someone was walking just a few steps behind you. Our first week there, I woke up in the night to the sound of a child crying. It was faint at first. It was soft sobs echoing right through the air vent near my bed. I thought it was my younger sister, so I got up to check on her, and she was out cold, snoring. I checked on my older sister, also fast asleep. I went to my parents' room and I shook my mom awake. "There's a kid crying," I whispered. "It's not my sister's." My dad groaned. "You were dreaming, sweetheart. Go back to bed." But I wasn't dreaming. Every few nights after that, I'd hear it again. The same sound. The same broken crying. My parents stopped listening to me after the 3rd time I woke them up. A few weeks later, I was playing in the backyard when I noticed something weird. The grass had, in one spot, it had this faint rectangular border, like a buried frame. I asked my dad about it. He poked around and said it must have been an old swimming pool. But there was no pool listed in the house documents. I remember my parents just laughed and said, "I guess that explains the great deal." But I couldn't stop thinking about it. My bedroom had a sliding glass door that faced that exact spot. And at night, the moonlight would hit the grass in a way that made the outline shimmer, like there was still water underneath. After that, I started sleeping with the covers pulled over my head. And then, other people started hearing things. One summer night, a big storm hit. Sudden thunder, no warning. The power went out and the whole house went pitch black. We were all in the kitchen, me, my sisters, our nanny, and 2 of the maids. And then the landline phone started ringing. Nobody wanted to pick it up. Finally, one of the maids said, "Hello?" And we heard it, a child's voice, crying, gasping, saying, "Mama, please help me. It hurts. I can't breathe." The maid dropped the phone and she screamed. The phone started ringing again. We didn't answer. When my parents came home later, they were furious that we hadn't picked up. But the nanny told them, and they brushed it off. That was until my mom saw something herself. She was in the bathroom one night, brushing her hair in front of the mirror. The light above her flickered. Wait. Once, twice, and then dimmed. And in the reflection, she saw a small shadow move behind her. When she turned, no one was there. The next day, she brought in a priest to bless the house. He walked through every single room with holy water, muttering prayers, but it didn't help. The phone still rang. The voice still cried. My mom still saw things moving in mirrors, and I still heard the crying. Sometimes right outside my sliding door, near the grass where the pool used to be. And I'd hear a faint tapping on the glass, like tiny wet hands knocking to be let in. Guests who stayed over would say they'd hear whispering or feel cold spots or wake up to the sound of splashing even though there was no pool. Finally, my mom called the realtor to ask about the house history. The woman was quiet for a long time before she finally told her. A family of twin girls used to live there. When the twins were 8, one of them drowned in the pool. The parents filled it in right afterward, too afraid it might happen again. But after that, the surviving twin started waking up at night, sobbing, telling her parents she could hear her sister crying for help. They thought it was just grief or trauma until they moved out. The house sat empty for years. No one ever stayed long, until us. We lasted 10 months before selling it for the exact same steal we paid. On our last night there, I woke up one more time to the sound of crying. This time it was closer than ever. It was right outside my glass door. I looked out, and in the moonlight, I could see the outline of the pool glowing faintly through the grass. For a second, I swear I saw ripples. So, is this story true or fake? We're gonna do a poll. One minute. You have 1 minute to vote. If you think you think it's true or false. Is this a real story? Did this happen or not? Did this happen or not? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Chat thinks that this story is false. Chat does not believe that this has occurred. It's true because Roxy never lies. This is Roxy's story that Roxy submitted. Are you suggesting that Roxy has told a lie? Do you believe? Okay. You have just a few seconds and then I will reveal the truth or falseness of it. Okay. Chat thinks it's fake. And, well, I have news for you. Because according to Roxy...
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
It's fact.
Yes. Yes.
According to Roxy, this is a true story. Yeah.
Right.
According to Roxy, this is a true story. No way! Isn't that creepy? Yeah. Yeah. It's a true story. It's a true story. Bet you didn't see that coming. But it is. Okay, next story. Alright, so that's... Thank you so much, Roxy. Can we get some thank yous to Roxy for submitting such an epic story today? That was super cool. Next story. Yes. Okay, the next story. This story was submitted by Desi. The hotel stairwell. Okay. Here we go. I used to work in a hotel with over 30 floors. One day, my job was to patrol the tower and all the stairwells. I was making my way through the airlock doors to the next floor when I started to hear thumping sounds, like someone coming down the stairs above me. Because of my patrol, I knew for a fact that all the doors above me were shut and secured. So I started to make my way back up the stairs to find whoever I thought was in the stairwell with me. After 3 flights, I started thinking, where the hell are they? I was no longer hearing the thumping, and I decided to give up. I didn't want to walk all the way down the 3 flights I'd just run up, so I went to enter the floor I'd stopped on and use the elevator. As I put the key in the door, a chill ran up my spine. It felt like something was whispering right in my ear, but the whispering wasn't a voice. It was a loud white noise full of static. I whipped my head around and nothing was there. When I turned, the noise stopped. I noped out so fast of that tower and found my boss. He told me the tower is not haunted and that I was just imagining things. I think he's a liar. She's a job. What do you think? Is this story true or false? You have 1 minute. Is this true or false? Is Desi's story real? Is it fact? Or is it fiction? And hotels are inherently creepy. That is very true. We should gamba and bet Buncoin on these. I think that's a good idea. Maybe for the next one, yeah. Yeah, we should gamba. Yeah, we should make it a bet next time. Liminal space hotel. Every hotel is a liminal space. Creepiness. Okay. Halloween gamba. Yeah, we'll do that for the next one. Are you guessing that it's true or fake? Chat thinks it's true. But it was very close. It's very close. I can tell you, according to Desi, this story
Our research found
is
a
true.
published report of a similar story. Yes, it was. The similar story
According to
happened a
Desi,
young
this
man
story
in
is
the
true.
Pacific Northwest about 20 years ago.
Yeah,
It happened. A
it
similar
happened. Okay, next story. Next story. We're gonna tell the story from Rimini. Okay. Rimini story. Here we go. Hello, Kai Kobayashi. We're telling scary stories around the campfire today, as it is a very festive thing to do, and Buns have submitted some super cool stories. So, for this one, I think we will bet at the end if you think it is a true story or a fake story. The Graveyard. A story submitted by Rimini. Okay. When I was about 13 or 14, I was staying at my friend's grandparents' dacha out in the country. It was this tiny, quiet village. The big event of the weekend was going to the club the next village over. Hold on a second. Okay. In Ukraine, some villages have these culture centers, like a big building with columns out front and maybe a small movie theater inside, like a big hall. And on Saturday nights, that hall is the club. They just turn the lights off, turn on some disco lights, and like blare music. And that was the plan. We're just going to go to the party. So to get to our village, from our village to their village, you had to walk, and the path cut through the middle of the old graveyard that served both villages. On the way there, it was still dusk out, and so we passed the graveyard and the chain link fence, and you could just see like small cheap crosses inside, and it was old, super old, like probably hundreds of years. And my friend, of course, is like, we should go in and try to see a ghost, and I said, that's stupid. I called him an idiot. Ghosts? That's a waste of time. I said, I'm very practical. Of course, I don't believe in ghosts, so we just kept walking and went to the club. For a few hours. We fast forward a few hours and we leave the party. And you have to understand how dark it was at that time in a rural village at that time. There was no streetlights, there was nothing. It was just dark. We did not have flashlights on our phones. It was just dirt road, maybe a little moonlight, but it was really hard to see anything at all. We were walking fast, just trying to get home, and we had to pass through the graveyard on the way back to my friend's grandparents' house. It's pitch black. Like, all you can hear is our footsteps on the path. And then we saw it just past the fence. Standing in an open patch between the crosses, there was a silhouette. And it was just black, like a shadow. I could see it was a person. It had long hair. It was wearing clothes, like maybe some kind of a jacket. And we both just stopped dead. My first thought was, what is somebody doing in the graveyard at this hour? It wasn't standing straight. It was kind of hunched over like an older woman. And then she started walking straight towards us. At this point, I was actually freaked out. She got closer and we heard this sound. It was this awful low moan. Almost like how a junkie would moan. That's the only comparison I can think of. Like this horrible guttural, like gasping sound. It was time to go. We turned and we sprinted. We ran so fast, terrified, not saying a word, until we burst back into the dacha. It was really dark, and grandparents were already asleep, so we just locked the door and went straight to bed. The next morning, we told them what happened, and they just shrugged. And the grandmother was like, oh yeah, it's probably a ghost of one of the people there. Just said it so nonchalantly, like they were talking about the weather. I'm not superstitious, but to this day, I still don't know what that thing was. Is this a true story? Or is it fake? Have I been lying? Has Remedy been lying? Well, I guess you're gonna vote. Is this true or fake? Let's do a... can we do a Gamba? Prediction? Channel points. True or false? True? False? You have 30 seconds. Starting now. To vote. Gamba. How do we wager? I think it will ask you. It should show up in chat. Yeah, at the top of the chat where like the pinned messages go. Okay. Is this true or false? Also, Punchlines, thank you for subbing with Amazon Prime. I appreciate that. Okay. Oh my god. Hold on. The suspense. I don't hear that. Oh no! I don't hear it, the sound. Oh, okay. Heck. I've ruined the sound. I messed up the sound here. Okay. This story is true. This story is true. Yes, it is true, in fact.
It's fact. Yes.
So, let me give you your points. If you click true.
You were right. Our research found a published report of a similar story.
It was true.
It was.
Yes, it
Similar
was.
story
Yes,
of
it
a
was.
young man.
All right. Next story. I have my own story for you. It's my turn. My story for you. Okay. Are you ready for this? This one. Submitted by me, your bun, Zepla. Momo's house. True story? Or false? So, Zepla's lying before she even started. So I grew up in the backwoods of Louisiana. And my grandma, my Momo, she has a house really deep in the forest. It's one of those old, charming wooden houses without Wi-Fi, and it's filled with beautiful antiques, and it is haunted. I'm not the only one in the family who thinks so. As long as I can remember, everybody in my family said it's haunted. Like my mom, my brother, my sisters, my cousins, my aunts, uncles, everybody agreed this place is haunted. And there's this overpowering sense of being watched. Like, you're never alone, is the only way I can describe it. There's a family story that used to freak me out where my uncle, when he was a kid, he was crossing the main hallway really late at night, and he was just trying to get a snack. He looked up at the top of the stairs, and he saw a girl standing at the top, just staring, not moving. He blinked, and just like a second later, she's gone. All the kids were sleeping downstairs. My mom and papa were the only people who slept upstairs. And the stairs are really creaky. Like, you would know it if somebody was walking up the stairs. So you can imagine, when I was a kid, having heard this story, I always had to, like, muster my courage to go from the bedroom towards the kitchen for anything. Like, I had to have a good reason to walk around at night alone. Because it was scary as hell. Well, just recently, I was back at my grandma's house. And I was sleeping over. It was very, very recent, actually. And I had never had a scary experience at this house before. Like, I'd only heard experiences. And it was a classic Louisiana night where it was dark. It's raining out. These frogs are loud. Crickets are so loud. It's like super loud sound outside the window. And I'm a heavy sleeper. Like, nothing will wake me up. But I woke up suddenly. And there was a woman standing over me. Leaning over the side of the bed. Just staring. And looking right at me. And I freaked the fuck out. I tried to scream, but when I tried, I actually woke up again. And that's the only way I can describe it. Like, I woke up again. I don't know how else to say that. But the room looked exactly the same. Everything was the same, except she was gone. I heard this rain and the frogs the same, but she was gone. And the thing is that I'm an experienced lucid dreamer. I know what realistic dreams feel like. I almost always realize when I'm in a dream, but this was not a dream. This really felt like something else. And I don't know what I saw, but I was not alone in that room. I can tell you that. So, am I lying to you right now? Am I lying to you? Oh my god. You better put in your prediction now. You got 30 seconds to vote. Are you a doubter? You think I would lie? Me? You think you're a good friend, would tell lies? Zepla would never lie to Buns. Wouldn't she? Wouldn't? Or would? I don't know. I guess you have to guess. Okay. So, is this story real? Yes, it's a real story. It's completely true. All of it's true. Every part of it's true, yeah.
You're right again.
Yes, you're right. It's a fact. This happened. This is a real story.
You were correct.
That is correct. Mm-hmm.
It happened. This one took place.
This one took place. This one took place. All right. So, Trust Gang wins. Yes. 71% believed me. And you were right to believe me. Of course. Okay. We have another story. This one is the last story of the night. This is the last story of the night. Are you ready? Are you scared? Do you need a break? Or is this okay? I know this is really scary, but we're here together, Bun Buns. So don't worry too much. Telling story. I'm sitting in a salt circle. Do we have a priest nearby? Got it. Okay. The last story. Let's see. Let me get everything ready for it. Okay. I'm ready. This is a story submitted by Lento called The Ghost Train. Are you ready? Yeah. Here we go. I grew up in a small rural town in the north of England. The town itself was unremarkable, but the surrounding countryside was quite beautiful. Hold on. Crap. Hold up. I messed up. Okay, we got it. Yes, back on track. Picture rolling hills, untamed fields, and ancient woodland. Running along the outskirts of town and out into the countryside was an old, disused railway dating back to the 1800s. The tracks themselves were long gone, but the gravel path that they once laid upon was still weaving around the landscape. During the day, it was a really nice hike with nice scenery around, and at night, though, with cloudy skies and far from town, you just couldn't see very far in front of you without a flashlight. It was really dark and a little bit unsettling. A long time ago, as a young bun of about 13, I first heard the story of the ghost train. I was skeptical even back then, but the story had persisted and been passed down through the generations. It was said that there had once been a terrible accident in the woods a few miles out of town when an old steam train had jumped the tracks and plunged into a wooded ravine, killing everyone on board. Legend has said that if you made your way out to the woodland in the dead of a winter's night, you might just hear the whistle of the train and the wails of its occupants as they made their ghostly and ill-fated way along the old route. The local kids occasionally attempted the journey, but as dark as it got along there's few people who would ever make it all the way. As soon as we heard the tale, my friends and I decided that we would be the ones to make the trip and come back with a tale of our own. We decided to sneak out and meet around midnight, and off we went in search of the supernatural. There were 5 of us in total, though only one flashlight because we were not very smart. And one confused but... Oh my god, why did I put these here? Okay, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't. I'm sorry, I ruined your... a very cute dog named Tess. I claimed I'd brought the family dog along because she hadn't had a walk that day. But in truth, I was just a bit scared of the dark and knew that the old girl would keep me safe. We followed the track carefully, huddled around our lone flashlight, each of us acting a lot braver than we actually felt. After a tense but uneventful few miles, we eventually made it to the woods and the ravine therein. We picked our spot, settled in, and waited. Nothing. There's no ghostly wails of the dead. There wasn't any whistle from the train smokestack, nothing like that. I'd been a skeptic from the beginning, and I wasn't at all surprised, but I could tell that the others were disappointed. After an hour or so, we reluctantly called it quits and started to set off back towards home. And it was on this return journey that things took a turn. As we made our way back along the track, I felt a sudden tugging on the dog's leash as she stopped walking. Assuming she had to poop, I stopped and fumbled around for a bag and told my friends that we'd catch up. My nerves had settled and the clouds had begun to part. With the near full moon now illuminating the track and surrounding woods enough that we could make our way without the flashlight, I turned, expecting to see her searching for a preferred spot to do her business in, only to see her standing statue still and staring into the trees. Crouching down beside her, I put my hand on her back, and I realized that she was trembling. Tail firmly between her legs. I'd never seen her like that, and my heart started to race. I squinted and tried to see what had got her so spooked. Then I saw a silhouette of a man hiding among the trees. My blood ran cold. We were young, in the middle of nowhere, and now some psycho was following us, planning on doing God knows what. The clouds parted. Moonlight was shining down on the pursuer. I slowly stood, eyes widening, trembling now more than my dog, as I clearly saw what the man was wearing. An old train conductor's uniform. Suit, peaked cap, whistle on a chain, the whole thing. I struggled to breathe as whatever it was stared at me with shadowed eyes, slowly raising the whistle to his lips, drawing a silent breath to blow. As it did so, the clouds rolled in again, blocking the moonlight and plunging the woods back into darkness. Panic took a firm hold of me. I spun around and with Tess right beside me, ran faster than I ever had before or ever have since. We quickly caught up with my friends, and without breaking stride, I just yelled, "Run!" and we flew past them. They did not hesitate and quickly followed at a full sprint all the way back to town. It's been many years since then. I'm a grown man now. I've traveled the world. I've seen some weird things, but I'd never forgot the conductor or the dread I felt when I saw it. No matter how old I get, I'll never, under any circumstances, go back to those woods at night. Nor should any of you. Because it's there. It will always be there. And it's better left well alone. Is this truth or trash? Is this real or is it fake? Okay, let's start our prediction. You may now vote. Is this true or false? Is this true or false? I need you to vote now and place your bets. Would Linto tell lies? Do you believe Linto has told lies today? Spinning tall tales on this Halloween? You think it's too sensational? I know. I won big. I know when to quit. Oh, man. Well, you're going to find out in just a second. Because I bet some of these threw you for a loop. Some of these that you thought were real. Right? 29% believe this is true. 71% of you believe it's false. Well, apparently, Linto is not a very good liar.
It never happened.
It never happened.
We made this one.
It never happened.
No way. It's fiction.
It's fiction.
It never happened.
Never happened.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Made up this one.
Made it up. We made it up.
It's false. Not this time. We got you. It never happened. It's fiction.
We got you.
Not this time. You're wrong. It never happened.
It never
Not this
happened.
time.
It
Not
never
this
happened.
chance. It never happened.
Yeah. Okay. It was false. Congratulations to everyone who could see through Melento's lies. Where was the story from? So all the stories that I've told today were submitted by real Bun Buns. People in our community, mods, viewers. They were all viewer submitted stories. And so I thought that was really cool to try to get people to tell a true story that's a spooky story from their life, or try to pull one over on you. I thought that would be really fun to do. I want to tell you something else that might freak you out. You might have noticed that in my Google Slides presentation that I've prepared for you today, there were several rather creepy photos. I did not use any AI photos for this presentations, and in fact, I used several real ghost photos. So there might have been some stories that were fake, but that had real ghost photos in it. For example, this one from the train story from the paranormal subreddit, which I'll share with you now. This is the one that scared me last night while I was putting these slides together, in fact. This is a photo someone took. When I was 13, me, my cousin, and father did a haunted house tour in North Wales. We walked around the grounds. We had our phone cameras open on the off chance we saw something. When I saw this through my camera, I froze. I looked away from the phone to that direction. There was nothing to be seen. We had already done the main house tour at this point. I was very skeptical because nothing had happened the whole time. I did not sleep for weeks after seeing this, and it's fueled my love for the paranormal. The road outside the mansion is also said to be haunted by the Gray Lady. From what I know, there have been numerous crashes on this road from people swerving out of the way of something. My father has also crashed on this same road because of a pheasant hitting his windshield, which is probably just coincidence, but still creepy, right? Hope to visit again someday, but yeah. This was a very popular post from the paranormal subreddit 2 years ago, and I included it as one of the images for the story because it does look like a person is there, and they said no one's there, and that's classic Halloween spookiness for you. The other one that was a real, in quotes, real ghost photo. Take that as you will. People claiming it's a real ghost photo. Was this really interesting one that I used in Rimini's story. That was also a pretty well-received post in the ghost subreddit. Woman in a graveyard caught on a photo. So this was really crazy. It looks just like a woman. Over there. There she is. Looks like an old style clothing. Went to a graveyard with snapping photos. Caught a woman wearing 18th, 19th century clothing. He was the only one there as it was closing up. Yeah, that's a real ghost photo to use. And that's so creepy. Think that's as good as ghost photos get, okay? That's about as good as it gets. They don't get clearer than that. So, I mean, you can probably say a lot based on that. Just kind of fun to talk about on Halloween night.